Hey there, welcome to saas.unbound podcast. I'm your host, I'm Nadeina, head of growth at saas.group. I serial acquire buying wonderful SaaS businesses to take them to the next level. And here I chat with inspiring founders and experts to get an inside scoop on how they made their business a success. And today with me is Gerald, CEO and co-founder of Kickscale, AI sales coaching platform, on a mission to help sales teams get better with every sales meeting. And who doesn't want that? Welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Anna, and really appreciate your introduction and great being here with you.
Thank you so much. I mean, anytime. Happy to talk to inspiring founders just like you. So let's dig into your background first. How did you come to build Kickscale in the first place?
Yes, and let me start there a little bit. Very early on, I would say I went to a technical high school and learned there when I was 15 already the skills how to develop software. And obviously, that was one of my passions over the years. I went to this technical high school, then afterwards had 3 years of experience in the software development industry and learned how to develop software. But this wasn't, I think, my 100% true passion, right? Because I recognized then at a certain stage, hey, I would love to talk more to people. And yeah, sales, marketing was always a field I was interested in. And then I started to study economics and business administration. And after that, I really got lucky, I would say, because one of my friends on this technical high school found his own company. And this company was a B2B SaaS tech business called 𝗦𝗔𝗟𝗘𝗦, very successful company today, more than 25 million in annual recurring revenue, uh, people across the globe, more than 160 employees. And I started there as the first marketing and sales employee. So we were a group of 10 people in one room together and wanted to change the video infrastructure world, yeah, with better streaming solutions. And this was 10 years ago. And I worked so close together with the founders. And over this last couple of years, so I was there from 2014 to 2021, I learned so much what it takes to build up business, to scale a business, to develop a product. And I'm 100% grateful to had that chance. And this led in the first place to founding Kickscale, because in that 7-year journey, and then afterwards we consulted some other B2B SaaS startups as well, we saw really some issues, especially in sales meetings, how you can do sales meetings, what data you can extract from sales meetings, how you can get more productive before, during, and after sales meetings. And this led to founding of Kickscale. And yeah, here we talk, and super happy to chat with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited because I've chatted with a few founders of the solutions for sales teams, and it's always really fascinating. First of all, what I noticed is you're extremely passionate about the topic, and it's really fascinating to sometimes find a bit controversial things from salespeople that they are talking about, especially regarding their own companies. Like, for example, I think the narrative over the entire podcast from founders was we want to be remote, we want to be synchronous, we don't ever want people back in the office, and everyone who was talking about sales, they were like, "Oh, no, no, no." But we want people here. So, okay, this let's start with that question maybe. In-house or outsource? And in the office or remote?
Let's start, if that's okay for you, with in-house or with in the office or remote. Yeah. And truly, I believe COVID, yeah, changed there a lot. I, as a salesperson, so back at 𝗦𝗔𝗟𝗧, I was the first sales and marketing employee. Then I became an account executive, a sales director working with larger accounts. And at the end, I was leading the global inside sales team, where we at the peak, we were 13, 14 people in my team, and closing mid-market accounts and building pipeline for enterprise accounts. And the thing is, how to start with that? I love to work remotely, right? My origin family is from the mountains. We are there every 6 weeks for 1 week to spend time there. I work completely remote. It's great. And I would love to enable that for the employees as well. On the other hand side, especially in sales, yeah, you need to have certain rhythms, cadences, structure. And being at home in your home office, you really need a lot of self-discipline to make that happen compared to when you are like here around with people in an office and everyone sees each other. Oh, you're not calling today. Oh no, I don't do the call. Oh, I do it. And it gives I would say a good peer pressure if you are in the office. Yeah. But to be very honest, also we at Kickscale, there is a remote first culture. Yeah, everyone can decide where they want to live, work, and so on. We bring the people in the office, like every now and then, typically once a month, we make an office event where we talk about strategy, but also spend time together on social activities and leverage that. So I think there is no right or wrong answer. Yeah, I think you if you are remote, you need tools that help your sales team, but also you as a sales leader to first of all get insights into the conversations. What was going on there? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the team? Yeah, what kind of product features got asked from the customers? And that's exactly what we built up also with Kickscale. Yeah, we make that happen. I would say for remote teams, it's even more important to have a solution like Kickscale than for in-person teams, because when you as the sales manager sit in front or besides your sales rep, you at least hear what kind of question they are asking, what's going on and so forth. But if you are remotely, you need something like that. Yeah. But from my side, I love both worlds. Yeah. I see the advantages in both sides. But as a sales leader, you need to decide what kind of model you want to prefer. And I think it's also heavily depending on the products you are selling and yeah, what your customers also want on that side.
Okay. What about in-house or outsourced?
Yeah, I have an opinion there. If you can make it happen in-house and you have the resources to make it, I think you need a first sales team in-house. Yeah. But I see that it's possible with the right partners to outsource certain tactics of that, like the demand generation, yeah, like cold calling, cold emailing. There are great agencies out there which you can outsource, but I truly believe you need to close your deals by yourself, yeah, to understand why does this deal close? What do you need to close it? And also to make it easier for your team to onboard the closed customer and really help them to be successful.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Well, that said, as far as I saw on the platform, you guys are
Yeah,
completely sales led. So you cannot really see the product unless you go through the demo, you talk to a sales rep, or am I wrong? Is there some kind of POG
there are
going on?
a lot of changes Anna going on at the moment, and we experiment a lot, right? I think this is so crucial. Yes, right now we are completely sales led, yeah, but also for specific people when we do some outbound, when we do some campaigns, we tell also the people that they can try our product, yeah. So it's a little bit a mixture of sales led and product led. Yeah, I would say at this time, why we experiment a lot, right? And it really depends also what kind of goal you have with using an AI conversational intelligent platform like Kickscale. What goal do you have in mind? Do you want to make your sales reps more efficient? Yeah, with automating some email follow up or syncing data automatically into the CRM system? Then maybe product led is easy to do and makes sense. Yeah. But where we look into as well is with Kickscale, you can analyze your last 50, 100, 500 sales meetings based on certain criteria, like what are the common needs of your product? What are the common objections and so on? And we have seen that this takes also a little bit more of onboarding, helping the customer to really understand what AI can do for them and how AI can help them. That's why we go into the sales led world. but also for some parts, we have definitely a product-led strategy too.
Okay, that makes sense. And I mean, just by the nature of the product, I think it makes more sense for bigger companies with bigger sales teams. So, and they usually require some hand holding and glove service. So, what's your trick there? So, how do you make it happen? Because again, for me as a non-sales person, and I know that marketing and sales have to
Everyone is
work.
in sales, Anna.
Right, right. Yeah, I want to ask about that next. Uh, but um, when I hear about all the processes behind like sales departments,
Yeah.
and the fact that you need a few meetings only to reveal the price, for example, sometimes it's so surprising for me. But anyway, um, so yeah, what is your strategy there? Like how much of a hand holding do your customers require, and why you offer this particular flow?
It's a very good question. Yeah, thanks a lot for that question. What I truly believe is you can position you as a company, you as a founder. Are you offering a tool or are you offering a complete solution? And we are looking into the second. Yeah, it's not like we have parts in there like the email follow up, which gets automatically generated, the CRM synchronization, and other parts which can be used as a tool. But we look into positioning Kickscale as a complete solution, a solution where the product team can benefit from looking into and see what are the most often asked features in sales conversations. Or when you said the marketing and sales need to work very closely together, right? And this is a, we can talk about that also for hours, to be honest, because that's also one thing which needs to be improved. And also here, marketing experts can go into the Kickscale platform and actually check out what the customers have been talking in sales conversations. And this is then not only a tool for one group of people in the organization, it's a solution for a broader group of people. And that needs to be planned ahead. That needs to get certain involvement from certain people to roll that out. And that's why we're focusing on our sales-led strategy. And I love sales too, so that's also one part. No, not joking, but um, uh, that's the main reason, yeah, because we see that when we talk to the people, a lot of people don't have an understanding yet what AI can do for them. And that's where we also educate them and help them to figure out if a solution like ours is a fit for them or not.
Okay. All right. Well, just because you mentioned, that you love sales, how much still are you talking to your customers? I'm just trying to figure out, because everyone says founders have to get out there and have to learn about their customers and get the feedback. Otherwise, sometimes you're just getting a bit too far removed and
Yeah.
focus on the company, and yeah, you just let go of product. So how much are you talking to the customers? And maybe you could reveal a few things that were a revelation for you from from those conversations.
You need to talk to the customers, and I talk to every customers of ours. Yeah. Uh, Not, I would say every, obviously we have also customers who have 1, 2 users on our platform. Yeah. That's more on a self-service side. That's more where if they need something, obviously we are there. But when people have like 10-ish sales reps on our platform, I talk to the sales leader there. Yeah. I talk to the CEO there to get the feedback. And even if it's just a phone call looking into, hey, what's going on? Is everything all right? What do you see on the market? What's going on? I tend to be out in the field as often as possible. Yeah. And with the field, I mean also the virtual field, having like virtual conversations. But being out there is crucial. And yes, all customers I'm in contact. Yeah. I would say not as often as I wish I would. Yeah. Because when you have a good number of customers, obviously, if you want to stay with everyone, with every customer, even only once a month, in conversation, yeah, you can book more or less every day, 2, 3, 4 hours to be really in contact with them and getting some proper insights. But yes, I'm really in contact with them because I think it's so crucial to get insights. Like the most important ideas for features we get out of customer conversations. We onboarded last year a customer, a German startup, and they have 10 plus sellers and customer success reps on the platform. And actually, we have a sync every month to really see what's going on. And we get feedback how they use our platform. We get feedback what they would like to have. And obviously, we implement it. So I really strongly believe that being as close as possible to your customers is so important, yeah, because that's at the end what counts for your customer, that they see some value out of your product, and you need to over and over again build more value into your product.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk AI, right? What's in there? Like, what is possible in sales with AI?
Yeah, that's a broad and very, very great question. Yeah. And the thing is, I think we are at the tip of the iceberg of all of that. Yeah. I talk to so many companies who haven't used any AI note taker functionality, haven't used any AI to summarize conversations, haven't used any AI to structure data points. Yeah. And I tend to structure it to make it easier to understand for everyone. I structure it typically into 3 parts where, in my opinion, AI can truly help, where we also focus on with Kickscale. Part number 1 is insights, meaning like insight out of conversations. Yeah, when you have a team of 20 sales reps and every of these sales reps ideally has, let's say, 2 really valuable structured meetings every day. We talk about 40 meetings every day, which means if you have 20 business days, we talk about 40 by 20 is 800 meetings every month. You know, as a leader, as a executive, as a CEO, as a founder, how can you make sure you get the most insight out of these 800 conversations by not asking every sales rep, oh, what do you think? Because you will get 800 opinions. Yeah. And that's not what the goal should be. But you should get out a really objective measurement of what's going on in these conversations. What are the common needs? What are the common objections? And this is AI is for me a perfect fit for doing that. Yeah. To get insight out of that. This is for me use case number 1. Use case number 2 is coaching. A sales leader has no time to coach their reps. I think it's the most important one, coaching reps, yeah, as a sales leader, because this sets you free and enables the team. But most sales leaders, including myself, I had a team of 12, 14 people. I did not spend enough time on coaching. I couldn't. I was in internal meetings. We were forecasting certain things. There was some strategy sessions, then some one-on-one with the team. I had no chance to coach the team as effective as I would have been able to. Didn't work out. Maybe I need also to work on my time management skills. That could be also another reason for that. But I worked also on time management, and you see, it's super hard to get that in. And AI can help with that as well. Why? Because AI can analyze sales conversations, can analyze meetings, can provide feedback. I would say it's not obviously not there yet when a really experienced sales leaders look at it. But to be honest, you get 80%, 90% there, and it truly helps to improve the reps' skills only by seeing how much did they talk. Did the sales rep talk 98% of the time? Maybe there is something wrong in a sales meeting. We had one of those meetings where I thought it's an error in the system, because we check also some of the meetings manually if certain metrics are not fitting. And I looked into it, said 98% speak ratio compared to listen ratio to your customer. That means that you as a seller talk 98% of the time. Means you talked more than 58, 59 minutes in a one
I just
hour
said hello.
meeting. Yes, you just said hello. That's point number two, right? Coaching. So important. And point number three is whole productivity, automating summaries, automating email follow-ups, synchronizing data to the CRM. There is no need anymore that a sales rep needs to put data manually into the CRM, or that that it's not necessary anymore to manually write follow-up emails. I think these are the three elements where I truly believe AI can make a huge impact.
Right, absolutely. And I think it's such, yeah, it's such a time saver. And so I guess what you guys are doing is initially saving them time, but eventually saving a lot of money. Well, that's great. So everyone's also talking about, how, especially lately, the sales cycles became incredibly long, and that now it's even more difficult to catch your potential customers at the right time in the right place when they actually
Yeah.
need you. So, is there any way you're dealing with that with Kickscale? And what's your own strategy about that in the company to push your sales?
Yes, also very good question. And I truly believe the answer is not that the sales cycles got longer. I mean, there are statistics out there. Yes, sales cycles got longer. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, because budgets are tighter and so on and so forth. But what I see also a lot when talking to sales executives and sales leaders, that actually deals get opened, which are essentially no real deals, right? And the thing is, a couple of quarters ago, a couple of years ago, budget was easier to allocate. So you say, oh, there is a sales opportunity and you will get some funding from some department and you close more deals. But the thing today is, looking into that, salespeople open a lot of deals which might be not even properly qualified. And that's what we see a lot, yeah, that we say, okay, sales cycles got longer, yeah. So I personally at Kickscale, and also when talking to some of the customers, I don't see that too much that sales cycles got longer. I see that budgets are more strict and it's harder to access money, yeah, absolutely true. But the thing is, when there is really a need for solving a problem and where your solution really saves time, saves money, improves coaching skills, improves at the end revenue generation skills, there is money available for such a system. But the thing is, you need to properly qualify. And I think lots of sales reps these days are challenged with selling value instead of features. Yeah, getting really in and say, what's the benefit of using Kickscale? Yeah, you save your sales reps at least 20 minutes of every sales meeting they are doing in follow-up activities. That means if an average sales rep has 30 meetings or 30 hours of meetings every month, for example, yeah, at least you save 10, 20, maybe even more hours of administrative work. This can become very fast 1, 2, 3 days a month. Yeah. And I think this needs to be the true conversations. How can you save time at the end? Yeah. But also, how can you make sure to qualify deals properly at the very beginning of the funnel? Yeah. Because then the sales cycles will still be on the right path.
Okay. So what you're doing with Kickscale is just making sure that it's the right deal, but in first place that you're going after, and only then you're kind of qualifying it for being in your sales cycle.
You know, it's a great question you're asking, because I think the longer the sales cycle gets, it's for me an indication that it wasn't properly qualified. Yeah. Because you need to spend time at the very beginning in qualifying the deal on certain topics. Like there are qualification frameworks obviously out there like MedPick and so on and so forth, which you can leverage. But leveraging that at the very beginning will help you identify why is a certain deal closing? What are the metrics we affect? What's the pain behind it? what's really the identified pain a certain company has when using a tool like Kickscale. And what I see is that most of the sales leaders, the sales reps, they don't do this qualification properly.
Okay. All right. So, about qualification, about the whole who is responsible for leads and for sales
Oh,
being
oh
closed,
yes.
and let's get let's get there. There is, I think, a bit of a feud going on, right, between marketing and sales, because marketing sometimes says, we have so many leads, like the funnel is huge. I mean, your total addressable market, billions of people, and get in there, close them all. Everyone needs us. And, then the sales department comes back and says, your lead. So they,
Yeah.
and it's not our problem. So who is right?
Very good question as well. And I was laughing as well, and I see you laughing too, because it's actually a very intense and serious topic. Yeah. But the thing is, it's part of my life since for the last 10 years. Meaning like, yes, there are different angles how you look at your outcome. And I see often marketing teams looking purely at the number of leads they are generating, looking purely at the company. And also, there is no clear definition what actually is a good lead. Yeah, is a good lead someone who is filling out a form on the website who wants to get some education on how to do better sales meetings? Yeah, is that truly a good lead? Yeah, or is it someone who requests a demo on our website? Yeah, is that truly a good lead? I think first things to consider is really what the quality of lead, not only the quantity, because so many sales and marketing teams focus on the quantity. Hey, we delivered 100 leads this week, and you did not secure any meeting out of these 100 leads. Yeah, because they just were checking something on the website and educated themselves how to do better sales meetings. Now you can argument, yeah, but if people are figuring out how to do better sales meeting, a solution like Kickscale could be a great fit. And that's also true, right? So I think there is no black or white answer, but you need to look into how can you improve the whole funnel. And in my opinion, that's over the last years, the development of the chief revenue officer. I think it's a mistake to have sales and marketing responsibilities split up. Yeah. You need to have a common responsibility, ideally of one person saying, yes, this is the responsibility, we need to tackle that. We at Kickscale, we have also, like my co-founder Marcus is an expert in marketing. Yeah. I consider myself as an expert in sales, but we are both experts also on the whole sales and marketing side, because we know each other, we understand each other. So I think this is easier because we manage that really well. But even here, there is sometimes a different understanding between what Marcus thinks is a lead and what I think what a lead is. And communication is here key. And yeah, aligning on common goals, and most importantly, defining what good actually looks like. If you don't do that, you will always have the discussion that sales says, oh, the leads aren't good enough. Yeah. And marketing will always say, oh, but we cannot push you more leads over. We are pushing already so many leads over. And quality is, in my point of view, the keyword which you need to implement.
All right. So before you go into defining where your bottleneck is, you need to get to the alignment
Yes.
between your marketing and sales teams
Yes.
to understand what it is you're actually selling, what is the brand that you're building.
Yes. And Anna, that's exactly also where we fall into with Kickscale, because our solution makes it possible that marketing people can go into the sales conversations and get a very quick overview of the common needs they had, or a quality rating. How was this lead actually? Yeah. And now for sure you can argument, oh, the sales rep didn't ask the right question to qualify them properly. But there needs to be also a metric. Hey, these are the questions we expect the sales team to be asking any kind of marketing qualified lead, that everyone here involved in these conversations are satisfied.
Okay. All right. So, talking about, the questions that have to be asked, and you offer quite a few playbooks um, on the platform that people could follow depending on their use case. And, again, from the conversations with all the leaders of sales companies, um, well, I get to understand that, yeah, you kind of have to have a playbook, right? Because oh my god, I loved the interview with Tony from Bluebirds company. Okay, so you know them. They're from Spain, and he said really just the simplest thing that really stuck with me. He said you have to check how much your sales team uh, follows a process and how much it improvises. And if your sales team improvises too much, then maybe your processes suck. So, what do you think about this, and why do you think it's important to follow the playbooks? Why do you offer them in the first place? And also, what do you think about the whole narrative? Because you know, I did my research, and when you put in Google sales playbooks, maybe, I don't know, 40%, 60% of the articles and blog posts are about playbooks are set up to fail you. So, yeah, what's your opinion on that? How helpful are playbooks for sales team?
Yes, that's a great question, and obviously the team, the Bluebirds team, knows that also very great, I would say, and these are awesome guys. I see it in a way that a playbook without execution is useless. What do I mean by that? Yeah. Just because you define in some Google Doc or Google Slide or any other platform a playbook will not change anything in your sales organization. You need to make sure, and I'm 100% with them, you need processes. Yeah, there is always the discussion, people over processes and so on and so forth. Some sales teams even have no real processes in place because they think that the people need to be as smart to don't use too much processes. Yeah. What I truly believe in sales is you need to set the right expectations. You need to know who is your ideal customer at the very first. Yeah. And there there shouldn't be any discussion about is a lead a great quality or not, because there needs to be a definition. Hey, in this bucket, if a lead falls into that bucket, it's a great lead. If a lead falls into that bucket, it's an okayish lead. If a lead falls not in the first or second bucket, the lead is just not a fit, right? This would be one playbook which should be defined. Same as what kind of questions should be asked in sales meetings. It's easy to write the playbook. Hey, here are the 10 questions you should be asking in every first sales conversation. But it's hard. The execution is hard. Even when I talk, I sit in a meeting. Oh, it's so nice. Your background is so nice. You look so nice. Let's talk a little bit about Vietnam. Let's talk a little bit about Austria. And at a certain stage, you still do sales, but you forget to ask the very important questions, for example. Even they are noted down in the playbook, everyone has defined them. So I truly believe, yes, you need a playbook for sure. You need expectations, you need defined what this team looks like. I mean, looking at the football team, and if they would not have any playbooks, they would never win any game. So, yes, playbooks are essential. But I think what is even more essential is once you are in the game, once you are playing, once you are doing sales meetings, once you are qualifying marketing leads, you need to evaluate against the playbook. That means in the playbook, we say we ask these 5 questions every new lead. In the real world, how many questions have we asked and what questions have we asked? And does this fit into the playbook? And if yes, and we produce the right results, that's great. If not, meaning like if we ask the same questions which we have defined in the playbook, but we are not getting further in our sales funnel, in our sales process, maybe we need to adopt and change the playbook. And this is, in my opinion, the conversation we need to have. Yeah, it's not about the playbook. Yeah, there is a playbook. It's about how applicable is that playbook and how can we measure if we are following the playbook And once we are following the playbook, is it effective or not? And what do we need to change if it's not effective? Does this make sense, Anna?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's the same. Like you said, everyone's in sales, right? So I probably am selling the podcast, being on
Yes.
the podcast.
And you're
Being
doing a
on the
fantastic job.
Thank you. But back to you. You're still pretty early. I think this is your third year at the company. So, what has been so far the biggest challenge, or maybe something that wasn't expected either?
I think what the biggest challenge is we started with something completely different than where we are right now. Our vision was always to bring out the best of salespeople. That was always our vision, empowering salespeople and so on. We first started with playbooks, but then we exactly experienced what you mentioned or what I mentioned before. We experienced that playbooks are nice, don't get me wrong, and every organization should have some playbooks, but the sales reps just don't care. They say, oh, yeah, there is a playbook, and I know how to do sales meetings. I know how to work with inbound leads and all these things. So we needed to find something that we can prove that you are not following the playbook. Meaning, like, the playbook seems to be great. Other reps are following the playbook and they are successful. Other reps are not following the playbook, they are not successful. And that's actually the birth of our conversational intelligence platform, where we analyze sales conversations to see what have you done in these sales conversations. Yeah, is it based on our playbook we think what good looks like, or is it something which we think isn't as good as we think? And this we started recently. Yeah, so we released our this feature of our platform last year in September, the first time. And since then we're getting really nice traction, and see also then that people need that. They need to check first what are their sales team doing before they can do any adoption. I think it's a wrong assumption to build first the whole playbook, build everything, do everything, yeah, and spending, I don't know, half a year of time building a playbook, which then at the end maybe no one uses. It's better to go out in the field, see what works, what doesn't, and based on that, build the playbook.
Right. And just by what you're saying, it's just an assumption. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you guys offering any kind of service on top of the platform? Or because you were saying that the AI analyzes the conversations and decides, who has good conversations and who has the bad. So who decides if the conversation is good or bad? Like, what are the um, prompts, basically? I think
Mhm.
that are being used to tell the system what is good or bad. Is it you guys who also go into the company, maybe analyze their processes and tell them what would be good for them? Or do they have to figure it out by themselves?
So we obviously help them with the prompts and so on, and we write the prompts for our system. So we are really looking into how can you leverage AI as its best. But the thing is, we are not consulting or coaching them. Yeah, that's really purely done by the AI, by our system. For sure, our customer success department helps them to get onboarded the right way, to understand the metrics and all of these topics. But at the end, the coaching part is purely done by the platform. So we are not going in there and analyze some sales meetings by ourselves, yeah, and provide them feedback. That's done by the AI. There is obviously quality checks from our side where we see, hey, we would do something differently and look into certain areas. But the main business model for us is truly a SaaS business.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. All right, so just a couple more questions. And yeah, like I said, there are questions that everyone gets. All right, so first one is, what has so far been the biggest win and the biggest failure? It could be for the company, could be for you as a founder.
I think, I mean, probably it's the win and the failure in the same item. I think the biggest failure what we experienced is being so focused on our product even when lots of people tell you, hey, even when you feel like the sales is hard, you are more like pushing your product towards to the people, and there is no natural pull from the people. And I truly believe we are very confident. Our whole team is doing a fantastic job in pushing that out. But at a certain stage, you need to recognize that it's not the market, it's not the customers who are not understanding what you are offering. It's more like you are building something which hasn't the value the customer needs. And the failure part of that is that I think we spent too long to figure out how we can pivot in a direction where the value is really clearly seen for the customer at the first sight. The win of that is we still did it, right? We built a completely different, let's say, different product even, yeah, at the very beginning with purely playbooks and e-learning, and we just saw it doesn't work out as it should. And then we added the whole analysis part, the conversational intelligence part, and now this combination is so strong. So I think this is maybe in really one thing, the failure, because it still took some time, yeah, but the win, we still made it happen. And I know a lot of other startups, they never pivot, yeah, because they are too proud of it. Yeah, it's, it takes, I think, true faith to, yeah, I say always the truth sets you free, right? And the truth was our product didn't perform as we wanted to be. And now you can still keep going and say, oh no, there might be some customers out there who will use that. And yes, don't get me wrong, there will be definitely some customers out there who will be using that. But is it enough to build a valuable business around that? And this obviously hurts, especially if you invest like 1-2 years of your personal dedication to something which you see, oh fuck, did we really build this the last 1 or 2 years? Why didn't we see that earlier, that this is not something which works? Maybe it takes time. Yeah, I think I have not seen any startup founder who hasn't said anything about that. But I would say this is my failure as well as wins. And one great mentor who was also mentoring Steve Jobs, we had the honor to work with him during a program in the United States. He always said there is no such thing as failure, right? It's rather you are folding something up, yeah, and say, hey, we are now smarter than before, and taking it to another level. And yeah, that's how I see the success and failure in the past.
That's wonderful. It was a learning opportunity. You could, use it in your advantage. So that's great. Love those stories. And the last one is also the usual. It's about a hack. So if you can share a hack, well, hopefully about sales. I mean, everyone wants to know how to sell more, how to sell better.
Yeah.
So if you can share a hack that could help founders do that, that would be great.
So I have actually one hack which it heavily depends on the product, right? What you are selling, but especially to those founders who are not closing or selling a product in the first meeting, right? Where it still takes a little bit of time. It's maybe an enterprise product, a little bit of a more complex product, not so much product led, but more sales led. One hack we saw really changing behavior is a proper follow up email. Sounds simple at the very beginning, but truly effective. Why? If you have a conversation with someone, if you follow it really up properly, hey, these are the current situation, this is your desired situation, this is what you might need to get to your goals, these are the next steps which are defined. You make your sales process look super professional. And especially if you need to sell to more people than only one person, you can leverage these follow-up emails, share it internally, yeah, that every stakeholder in the organization who is maybe involved in buying from you knows already what's going on. This, especially on if you are selling products worth, I would say, more than 30,000 a year, this is something which can truly transform your sales process. And with the capabilities of AI, you can do that easily. You have a recording software in the background, you record the meeting, it gets transcribed, and obviously you then get all the necessary information to follow up with your prospect. I would strongly um, enforce doing that as one hack to make the sales process just more transparent. Because you said also one very good thing: sales cycles got longer, and that's true. But I would not say sales cycles got longer. I think they got more intransparent because it's harder to reach certain people. And your job as a sales rep is to get more transparency into that whole sales process, that you can identify, do we still continue on that sales opportunity, or do we need to close this opportunity, unfortunately, out?
Yeah, I can totally see that. I mean, the bigger your ticket, the more kind of personal relationship it requires from your buyer. So I can definitely see how that could work. And yeah, maybe I should do bigger follow-ups podcast.
It's also one thing, yeah, also on the podcast, right? You follow up with some things and you have it in your email. When I next time prepare for a follow-up conversations, I see you popping up on the email side. I go quickly over it and say, oh, this is what we have been discussing. Oh yeah, I need to provide that and that. So that can definitely help.
Right. Okay. Thanks for the tip. I think it's a great one. And well, you already mentioned a follow-up episode, so I'm happy to do it anytime. It was a pleasure talking with you, and yeah, thanks for being here.
Anna, thank you as well. It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot for hosting this, and truly appreciate your time and your questions. And
Sure.
as mentioned, happy to continue this conversation. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Anytime. And take care.